Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First, I want to echo the sentiments of all my colleagues in thanking Ms. Hadawaja and Ms. Saduk for their testimonies. Speaking here, reliving your experience takes immense courage and strength. Americans and people around the world need to hear your story, so thank you very much. As the chairman mentioned, we stand ready to help and build off some of our earlier progress. During the 117th Congress, we passed H.R. 6256 to ensure that goods made with forced labor in the Xinjiang Uyghur region of China do not enter the United States market. Just 3 months ago, we passed H.R. 4785, the Uyghur Human Rights Policy Act, which passed the House with broad bipartisan support. This bill will address human rights violations committed against Uyghurs and other minority groups in the Xinjiang region. Still, there's a lot more work to be done, and I thank the chairman for his leadership in fighting this egregious human rights abuse. Forced movements, forced labor, torture, brainwashing, genocide, all at the hands of CCP. The list goes on. Personally, I'm particularly disturbed by the Chinese Communist Party's forced organ harvesting practice. As a physician, I know the miracle of organ transplantation. It's life-saving for many people. For those who choose, and I emphasize choose, to donate organs, they're doing great service to others. However, the need for organs is much greater than the number of donations can meet. According to the United Network for Organ Sharing, more than 100,000 people in the United States need an organ transplant, but last year just 43,000 transplants occurred. So how is it that in China, wait times for hearts and lungs are significantly shorter than in other countries? In fact, articles suggest that patients are even given their dates of surgery well in advance. This seemingly unlimited supply of organs tells us the organs are harvested on demand, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter into the record statement of Mr. Ethan Gutman on forced organ harvesting in China, with no exception.
With no objection.
Thank you. In May of 22, a Tom Lantos commission hearing, human rights investigators uncovered that detainees of about 28 years old in the camps were undergoing health checks that included blood tests and cross matches for organ harvesting. According to this report, some of the detainees are forced to wear color-coded bracelets after the health check, and they vanish, they disappear from the camps in the middle of the night. These facts and details paint a horrific picture, but don't take our word for it. On the screen behind me and on the poster in front of me is a published interim judgment of the China Tribunal. I'd also like to enter this into the record.
Without objection.
Thank you. In December of 18, the China Tribunal pronounced its final judgment on organ harvesting in China, concluding that the tribunal's members are certain, unanimously, and sure beyond a reasonable doubt that in China, forced organ harvesting from prisoners of conscience has been practiced for a substantial period of time involving a very substantial number of victims. That's simply horrifying to a surgeon. Must tell you. Ms. Saduk, you spoke of one of your students who disappeared. And I invite you to enlarge on this story of any other things you know about these people from camps disappearing. And by the way, the rest of the panel, if you have insights, I invite you to lean in as well.
Mən şu cəza lageri turub atqan vaxtlarımda aşağıdakı məni apırıb əkildiğən saqçı şoförlərini anlığandım. Ürümçi Michivanga joylashgan nayiti keng ko'lamdagi zar tashlatqizish o'rni ishki organ savdo o'rniga aylanib ketgan ekan.
As I worked at the concentration camps, I overheard that the policeman who drives the car and transports people, and that the policemen were talking to each other. They said that there was one drug rehabilitation center in Michuan, Urumqi, but later that place turned into organ transplant center.
Well, these are horrible things to contemplate. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. Ms. Stevens.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It shouldn't be lost on us